Okay, we are going to pick up with Utthita Trikonasana, which is extended triangle. I'm going to try to do 3 postures. We'll see how much time it takes because some of these need a little more explanation. And you'll notice sometimes that my instruction of getting into or out of doesn't quite match the book. Use, again, what works for you. You'll find that teachers have different styles that they prefer. Sometimes I feel that the book doesn't give the easiest or the most accessible way, so I instruct in the way that I teach. But, please feel free, if you like the book's description, use that. But just in case you were confused as to why I'm not using step-by-step in the book, that's why. Okay, so Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle. You can start in Tadasana. It's always best to have a block handy. Even if you don't need it, at least it's there. And a lot of different ways you can come in and out of these postures. So sometimes if you're instructing, you may just say, take a wide stance on your mat, a good 2 to 3 feet apart. Toes are parallel. And then whatever side you're going to start with, you'll instruct, we're going to start with the right. Point the right toes out. Back foot can be either parallel or at a slight angle with the toe in slightly. Block is down, or it can be in the hand already. Both arms are going to extend out, straight out. Legs are straight. So knees are straight here, unless that doesn't feel good for someone. You're going to inhale. Exhale, reach forward with the ribs. So you want to give that guidance of reaching with the ribs, not the hand, so that they really get the body, upper body and torso over this hip. That way, when they go to come down, there's nothing getting in the way. So reach with the ribs as far as is comfortable, and then go ahead and take that right hand down to the floor, shin, or block, and then left hand comes straight up. Your gaze can be up, level, or down, depending on how that feels in the neck. You would hold here for several breaths to come out. The instruction that I give is exhale, look down at the toes, bend into the right knee, inhale, coming up. I usually move through Virabhadrasana 2, and then go ahead and straighten that leg back out. And you can switch sides, so the right toe would come back to parallel, and you would switch hands with the block. Arms extend out, left toe turns out, back foot can come in at an angle if needed. Inhale. Exhale, reaching with the left ribs as far as is comfortable, and then take that left hand down to the floor, block, or shin. Right arm comes up. And you're here for a few breaths, how many ever you want. Exhale, look down at the toes, bend into the left knee, inhale the torso up. And straighten that leg. And moving on. One instruction you may want to give as well when they're there, there's a tendency, because they want that arm to reach down so badly, that they do this with the upper body. So you really want that chest rolling up, and you want them to get that feeling of stacking hip points so that the hips aren't like this. I don't know if you can see with my sweatshirt, but you want the hips stacking one over the other versus tilted. So that could be another instruction that you give. Again, you'll find what works for you. So that is extended triangle. And we're going to go on to Utthita Parshva Konasana, which is extended sideways angle. This is a really big and intense stretch. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can do this, and also using a prop. You would start the same way you started for extended triangle. However, this one, the knee is bent, and it's a very big lunge, really, and bend. So you want the legs nice and wide again. Arms extend out. Right toe points out, so same thing as triangle. And then this time, though, we're going to bend into this right knee and bring the torso down towards the leg. So if someone does not have that mobility to be able to bend, a lot of reasons that could be, you can take your forearm to the thigh. So the rib cage does not have to go to the thigh, but it can if that feels good. Otherwise, forearm comes to the thigh. So we would exhale, bend into this right leg. If ribs are going to thigh, you can then take that hand down to the floor or block, and then this left hand comes up and over, and the palm is facing down, okay? So that's another thing you're gonna find. People aren't sure which way to take the palm. So the arm comes up over the ear, and the palm is down, chest is rolling open towards the ceiling. So again, we're not doing this, we're opening. To come up, it's a big one. So we're gonna inhale, come up, but let them know they can help themselves. They can push up with that hand to come back up and straighten the leg. Toes come parallel. Hands can come down here for a moment, shake out, and then we would go to the other side. So that's one way of bringing the ribs down, you know, looking similar to that book. The other way would be that forearm to the thigh. Same thing though, this arm is still gonna do the same thing, the left. It's gonna come up and over the ear, palm is facing down, and your chest is rolling open. Gaze can be up level or slightly down, whatever feels good in the neck. Inhale to come up, straighten the legs, toes parallel, arms down, okay? And you would do the other side. So just understand those variations. We'll get into modifications more as we move through the course, but that's a really important modification to mention for this one because it is such an intense lunge and stretch. Okay, moving on, Virabhadrasana 1, which is Warrior 1. So this one, again, the book shows it. You can start with wide-legged stance if you want, especially if you were gonna do a flow from Warrior 1 to Trikonasana. You may want to start this way, but you don't have to. So sometimes I start from Tadasana, mountain pose. So you would be here. Then you would instruct, shift the weight into the left leg and start to slide the right foot back, taking a lunge, drop the back heel. The knee is bent. Inhale, reach the arms up. Palms can be together or open, or at heart center if the shoulders are bothering someone. And you want to make sure when they're like this, they're not scrunching. So shoulders are relaxed here, but you are reaching up, holding for several breaths. To come out, pivot to the ball of the back foot, engage your core, pressing off gently from the back foot. Exhale, hands through heart center, Tadasana. So that's just another variation or way that you can come in and out of Warrior 1, or you can do it as the book instructs, which is wide-legged stance, arms come up, turn and rotate the body. So practice both, practice teaching both ways. And you know, depending on what posture you're gonna do before or after, may determine which way do you want to start your students, or if it's your own personal practice, how do you want to come in and out of that posture, depending on the other postures you'll be doing surrounding that posture. So have fun playing with these three.